So it's been a while since I've done an updated video on stacking. As you know, or may not know, when I first started making Conan videos, one of the biggest videos that I liked doing was stacking videos, build related videos. You know, I liked that mechanic of it. I showed you in previous videos how I took an idea from Rust and how stacking in Rust used to work, and how I brought that to Conan to get this nice tighter formation similar to something that we were more used to with the old stacking in Conan. I mean, as you can see, this over here, this is stacking with gates, whereas this is stacking with the foundation out method and bringing them back with triangles. Now I'm going to show you something that might help you out, and you know, we'll go from there. First things first though, you're just gonna do the simple thing. I'll just never forget doing this in Rust. And then when I came to Conan and they fixed the old stacking method, and I was like, I wonder if these strategies from Rust will work. You know, they're games that both run on Unreal Engine, similar kind of building, you know, so I figured I'd give it a shot. But anyways, if you're unfamiliar with it, what I taught was you're gonna bring this out 10 times. Once you do that, you're going to bring this back with triangles. You don't have to walk it back. You can literally do it from a distance. It's that easy. If you need to walk it out because you're unfamiliar with it, I understand. But if you have the proper block length, you're going to be fine. We're going to do that. We're only going to have to do it one more time, and then we can just replicate the process very easily. We'll go out one more time. Okay, you got your 10 blocks out, and then we're just going to bring them back with triangles extremely quick. Doesn't matter what side you bring them back on, it's all the same. All right, that's it. We don't need to do this anymore. Okay, this is something I figured I'd remind people. Okay, it seems like people forget this stuff, but you know, you can just bring it around. Now, right here, you're going to run into an issue. I use Yamatai for a reason. Here's that reason. Now, if we bring this one there and then bam, you might get a little bug sometimes, but eventually you'll be able to just snap it into place. Which now, if you wanted to, you could do this as well. If you wanted a foundation in between these, I will show you how to do that. But I just want to show you how you can just keep walking it out. You don't have to take out blocks or anything like that, anything difficult. Just when you run into this one issue, and this is why I like Yamatai, it's one of the thinnest fence foundations you have to work with. Just, you know, extend that one out, and then, you know, you'll see you get both snap points, and bam, that's all you got to do. So when you run into that little issue there, you can walk this out as far as you want. That's completely up to you, but you don't have to use the 10 out and then, you know, triangles back. You don't have to do that. You can just walk this out. You only have to do it twice just to set it up, like I showed. Once you do that, you can just walk this out as far as you want, or, you know, you can go back as you want too. Sometimes if you're in a tunnel or something and you're trying to stack both sides, you can walk these back all the way that way and then, you know, delete what you don't need. And it just makes life a little bit easier. Now, if you want to do the foundation in the middle, which, you know, sometimes I do, it's nice. It's just, you know, some added layer of protection, I guess. You know, just put your foundation in, put your blocks on the side. Always make sure those on the side. Don't bother placing this one. You're going to have to do the same thing. And I like the Yamatai because I can see it through the foundation. Now, right here, what we're going to do, we still want this one to snap first and then that one. So we're just going to do this, and bam, there you go. You filled it in. If you ever run into any issues with this one, you know, just repeat this process until it works. Always place this one first and then that one. And you shouldn't run into any issues. See? Always place in order. And you won't run into any issues. And it's as simple as that. Now we're going to talk about this over here. This is, of course, stacking with gates. So if you're unfamiliar with that, you know, you have 3 foundations out, you know, you place your foundations and then you swap to a gate. And when you swap to a gate, you don't need to place all 3 of them. And you just need to find that middle one. I like to go into first person. I can tell that's the middle. And then we want that to show me. And this is another reason I like Yamatai. I can see it right there. And I know it's placed where I need it to be placed. And then from there, I can just place that. And then there we go. We've got a simple stacking method, which a lot of people do. But I thought, you know, why not, you know, maybe put some pillars in between it. If you have the pyramid pieces, take advantage of it. I do like the fact that it stands out. So, I mean, if you wanted even more protection, literally could just swap to, you know, I don't know, an arcane reinforced wall, you know, well, yeah, you would like that. And then, you know, when you stack this up, if we were to do this, you know, as you'll see, sticks through. If you can even turn that around if you wanted to. But remember, you can't place it back, but it's going to give some nice protection as well. If you reverse this, so the spikes are facing that way, and then you were to, you know, place your pillars, you're going to get to a point where you don't even know there's a wall there. It means they got to blow up the pillars. And then they're going to be greeted with the fence foundation. And then they're going to be greeted with the wall. And then you're going to have the same thing right here. Those won't be protected because this one will be gone. But still, it's an added layer. And if you're interested in how I add it, it's extremely simple. The first thing you're going to want to do with your stack over here, you're just going to need to place a wall. You're just going to place a wall. And when you place a triangle, try to make sure that the text, as you'll see, and go up here to show you. All right. Oh, the maelstrom's starting. You see how you got so many different ways it can go? That's important because you want your pillars to be straight. And as you can see, it's sideways. You can do that if you want, but we're not doing that today. As you can see, make sure you've got it lined up properly. From there, all we need to do is place a ceiling. Then we're going to place some stairs. I'm going to go up here for simplicity purposes because it's a little wonky sometimes. And then we're going to place that there. And then just copy that. Repeat the process. And that's it. You can do the same thing for this one. But for purposes, we'll just do this one right now. So as you can see, this can just be carried over if you just, you know, select it. Your ceilings. As you can see, if we put a pillar there, put a ceiling on top of said pillar, and just bring that over, we can fill those in. Now remember, place your fence foundations first, because as you can see, it's not going to let me place them right now. It's too close. So always do that first if you're going to put pillars in between the gate stacking method. Just a little tip and make your life easier. But other than that, that's it. The median's not terrible, but I mean, obviously, to me personally, if you're going to do this, you got to have the pyramid pieces. You don't need them, but I feel like the benefits are there for it. I just like how it can kind of hide the wall. I think it's kind of neat. But that's it. That's all I got for you. The video's going on about 10 minutes, probably a little less. It's very simple. I just wanted to touch on this. It's 2025. It's been a while. This stacking still works. Now, on official servers, I'm always going to give this warning. If you do this on official servers, you do this at your own risk. It is technically nowadays against official TOS. Some private servers will allow you to do this, you know, to a degree. They probably won't let you have, you know, hundreds of layers of it, but they will usually allow stacking to some degree because it's part of building and You know, as someone who enjoys the building in Conan on a PvP environment, you know, a little bit of stacking just helps delay the inevitable. Like I said, if you're going to do this on official, do it at your own risk. You can probably get in trouble for this. And I say can probably because it's usually the report meta that's going to get you in trouble. It's not actually Funcom coming along and being like, you're not supposed to build like this. It's people reporting you on Conan. And for such a small community that Conan has, it's kind of a shame we're always reporting one another. It's very petty. So if you're going to use this, use it at your own discretion. You know, honestly, you shouldn't be able to get banned for the gate one. Now, putting the pillars between it, I could see them maybe turning an eye. But the technique that I told you with the stairs and the pillar, you know, these building techniques have been around. People use these building techniques all the time in their build videos and competition build videos. You know, if it works, it should be allowed. If you don't want us to do it, then fix it. That's it for the video. I hope if you're new to stacking, maybe this helped you out. Maybe this helped refresh some memories, you know, get out there, build. If you have any other build videos you would be interested in me doing, just let me know in the comments below. There's more techniques to this, maybe some that I hold a little private and dear that I've never made a video on. Maybe I should. We'll see. I'll see you guys in the next one.